Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Tony Caligiuri and Chet Fitzgerald to present the Jack O'Connor Writer's World.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Caligiuri, and quick introduction here. About 20 years ago, Buck Buckner asked me if I would be interested in serving on a new board that was going to build a center and keep the historical mementos, rifles, keepsakes of Jack O'Connor. Like many of you, Jack O'Connor was my inspiration to start sheep hunting, so I jumped at the opportunity. A few years after that, we partnered with Wild Sheep to come up with an idea to honor Jack with a Writers Award. And I'd like to introduce Chet Fitzgerald, who's the Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Jack O'Connor Center, to make the presentation for this year's award. So please help me welcome Chet Fitzgerald.
Hello, as they said, I'm Chet Fitzgerald, and I'm here representing the Board of Directors of the Jack O'Connor Hunting Heritage and Education Center in Lewiston, Idaho. Before I start, I'd like to take a quick minute to thank our board members and volunteers back home, as well as those who have taken the time to travel here for the show this week. Jack O'Connor was unique, both for his incredible skills as a writer and journalist and for his love and extensive experience with sheep hunting. Often described as the Dean of American Gun Writers, he held the prestigious position as shooting editor at Outdoor Life magazine during the golden age of North American and international hunting. This position gave him an immense amount of influence in the industry. I once read that if Jack wrote that he purchased a Model 70 and made it into a lamp, the Winchester would sell 20,000 rifles. Many hunters, young and old, would eagerly await the arrival of the next issue each month just to read Jack's latest column or an expertly crafted account of his latest hunting adventure. And it was the quality of his writing that truly made Jack special. To quote from one of his stories, "The valley was long and narrow, filled with the rich grass and the pale gold frost-touched Arctic willow. Along the edges was a border of thick, dark spruce, but not far up the mountainsides, the woods played out in a scattering of scrub Arctic bush that was now in its brief autumn glory. It didn't really matter if you were an old hand planning your next hunt or a young hunter dreaming of adventures to come. When you read Jack's stories, you could smell the resinous scent of the spruce trees and hear the icy water as it tinkled in the little stream next to camp." Nowadays, there's much less of this type of outdoor journalism, and it can be harder to find a venue for Jack's type of writing. Stories are shorter, and many tend to be more product review oriented. And so it was that a few years ago, our good friend and fellow O'Connor Center board member, Tony, who was just here, along with another member, hatched the idea for an annual award to reward the best in outdoor writing. The articles must be about sheep hunting and are subjected to a rigorous review by 7 highly experienced hunters and outdoor writers. This year's winner is both a highly experienced sheep hunter and a longtime member of the Wild Sheep Foundation. His story, "The Ladies in a Stone," is a wonderful example of high-quality storytelling from a man who has been there many times. Please join me in welcoming this year's winner, Mr. Jim Manley.
Wow. Well, I can't begin to tell you how honored I am to receive this award. I'm absolutely overwhelmed. This is one of the biggest things that ever happened to me. I can tell you how nervous I am to be up here in front of a crowd like this. I would compare my nerves right now to being in the final stages of a stalk on a really big ram. A stalk that puts you on a knife-edge ridge with 3 vertical chutes to follow, hundreds of feet drop-offs. One misstep, you're probably history. So, needless to say, I'm a little puckered up. Thank God for quality guides like Steph. I'm sure most of you know her. This is Steph Lowe, an outstanding person, excellent guide, good friend of mine, and the recipient of the Outstanding Guide Award back in 2020. These guides can get you through some tough spots, and they work at keeping you calm. Oh, I see she's getting ready to plaque out my trophy. That's nice. Steph and Amanda Tompkins, now Amanda Wallace, were guides on an epic stone sheep hunt I had a few years ago That adventure inspired me to keep better journals and eventually write a book. Excuse me. It was a first-time writing effort, and I loved doing it. But by putting my thoughts on paper, I was able to relive every minute of every hunt. It was extremely rewarding. The article selected by the judges is an abridged version of my hunt with these ladies. They made the story very easy to tell. Thank you, Steph and Amanda. I want to thank Tony, Chet, Shirley, Leslie, Buck, all the board members and volunteers who keep the Jack OConnor Center alive and well. And of course, Gray, Kim, Glenn, the board, and all the staff of the Wild Sheep Foundation. These two excellent groups work together to sponsor this award. I believe it will promote more and better outdoor riding that we can all enjoy. Thanks to Kyle Stelter for publishing my article in the Wild Sheep Society of BC magazine, and thanks to the panel of judges who made the selection. Since this is Conservation Night, I'd like to offer a couple more quick thanks. Obviously, the Wild Sheep Foundation and the Jack OConnor Center for their good work. I also like to thank all the conservation groups across the country that work hard to preserve and increase the animals we love and the habitat they need, while at the same time protecting our hunting rights, which are in such danger. Most importantly, I'd like to thank everyone here, all of you. You are what makes all of this conservation effort work. Whether you're buying an expensive auction tag or a $20 raffle ticket, the entire conservation work works because of you. Take a minute, make a toast, or shake your neighbor's hand. Thanks to all of you and all of the folks who share our passion. On a personal note, I want to thank my family who traveled a long ways to be here tonight, all my good friends, and I want to thank Bill Pastorek. Him and I have a little book signing going on in the expo. If you guys are bored tomorrow, come by. I'd like to visit with you. And that's all I got. So, Steph, you want to pack that thing out? Thank you, guys.